the Blue Mountains Joggers handicap run. It's been an institution since about 1975, I think, out here. And we're joined by Kiralee with the Run Against Violence. Thanks for joining us, Kiralee. Run Against Violence. There's people that may not even know what it's all about. Do you want to tell us a bit about the Run Against Violence and the virtual challenge that's happening at the minute?
Absolutely. So Run Against Violence is a charity or a volunteer group who use running to engage communities in family violence prevention. At the moment we've got the virtual challenge happening. So back in 2017 I ran solo from Broken Hill to Sydney, 1,300 kilometres or 32 marathons in 19 days. And during that run we also held a virtual challenge. At that stage you could get groups of 10 together and race me across the course during those 19 days. And so we've kept that as an institution now. We're in the third edition, and so people from around Australia and around the world actually are getting teams of up to 20 people together and racing across line as we speak.
Can you tell us about the motivation that you had to get the whole thing started in the first place?
Yeah, look, it was way back in 2013. We had a series or a spate of murders in Sydney. 3 women were killed in very quick succession by a current or former intimate partner. And at that stage I had absolutely no idea we had a domestic or family violence issue in Australia. I grew up in a really safe environment, really loving family, and so it's something that's completely removed from me. And at that point I heard the statistic of 1 woman a week and being murdered by a current or former intimate partner, and I actually thought it was a bit of BS, media hype. So I went and researched it and got onto the Australian Institute of Criminology website and looked at the data, and in fact it was a lot worse than that. Yeah. And I've also learnt since that we also have 1 man a month killed by a current or former intimate partner, which is spoken about even less. I approached White Ribbon at that point and I donated those 500 miles or 800 kilometres to them and said, do with it as you wish. And so they said, look, we have big issues with engagement in regional communities. So that's the first ultra I did, 860 kilometres over 12 days for White Ribbon out in regional New South Wales, and that was the White Ribbon Ultra. And during that, Brad Smithers, my head crew, and I got to meet a lot of people that completely changed our lives forever. And coming off that, we said we have to keep going and do more. And that's when Run Against Violence was born.
Great. And it's grown massively. We were just talking off camera about it a second ago. We were really excited to have 7 teams in Blue Mountains Marathon Clinic this year.
Huge, absolutely enormous.
And even beyond that, in the local community, if we put in the up coaching teams and the serotonin runners and some of, there's well over 120 participants in the Blue Mountains area, which is huge for us.
It's enormous.
But you were just saying the growth of the whole virtual challenge. So tell us a bit about the numbers this year.
Yes, so we don't have an official number yet, but currently we're sitting at 3,065 runners and walkers out there. And the other number I looked at last night, which I haven't told you about, we've got 18 people participating that are over the age of 70.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're super excited about that. It's not just about runners, it's about anyone that can put in, whether it's 10 metres or 10 kilometres, it doesn't matter. Everyone's welcome to be part of it. And that blows my mind every year, and Brad as well. We're both reduced to tears every year, just seeing how willing people are to, first of all, the bravery of the people to come forward and share their stories, whether it was something that happened in their childhood or something that's happened in adulthood. Their bravery in sharing those stories, that wouldn't have happened a few years ago, but equally as beautiful is the community that wraps them up. And just the transition we see in people when they're able to share. And even though they've been the people that have experienced the violence, they carry a lot of shame and guilt around that, and particularly when it happens as kids. You'd be really cross all this, Ben. That when they get to relieve that and realise it's not their fault, they weren't to blame for this, then you see an incredible change in that person, and we change as a community. We become such better people. And I guess the heart of the approach that we've taken is we want to put lots of positive energy in to give a positive solution. So particularly in the area of domestic and family violence, there's been a lot of negative energy put into the issue, and and it just entrenches the problem further. Like name calling and all those sorts of things, it doesn't solve the problem. It might relieve you of the uncomfortable feeling in here, but it doesn't solve the problem. Where if we as a community put lots of really beautiful positive and supportive energy in there, the problem will solve itself. The people will heal themselves. We'll learn. We're open to learning. When we're sharing a really positive learning experience with people, that's when it happens. That change happens, because people want to learn. People realise like the bravery of Florentina to share that stuff. It takes guts, and people just then listen because they realise it's happening to someone right next to them. Who they've known for years, and you never knew that was sitting there. So it's incredible.
Absolutely. Look, we love having you come up to Blue Mountains
I love
Marathon
being in the Blue Mountains.
Clinic and up here. You came and visited us last year, and you've been visited us again this year. I know you're off to some other places to see people. Thanks very much for joining us again.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Mark.
Thank you.